Rhea Ripley's usage has become a popular topic amongst the fans, so we'll see what's going on there. We'll also check out what's going on with the women's division, Randy Orton, and more. Let's start things off with Rhea Ripley because this is a situation that more and more fans are picking up on. Rhea was last pinned in May 2022 by Liv Morgan, and ever since taking that loss, she hasn't been pinned ever since, and just went on this entire dominant run that included winning the Royal Rumble match from the #1 spot and defeating Charlotte Flair for the women's world title at WrestleMania. So everything leading up to Rhea Ripley's title win at WrestleMania was pretty perfect. She was protected for several months, never got pinned, got impressive wins, and that all led to the big title win. But the booking issue with Rhea's usage started right after she won the title. Rhea Ripley is now entering her 5th month as WWE Women's World Champion. And that may already sound like a great reign when you hear 5 months. But Rhea has only defended her title against pretty much 2 superstars throughout that entire time. She had the match with Zelina Vega, a trilogy of matches with Natalya, and that's pretty much it. After the Natalya feud ended, Rhea Ripley did immediately start up a program with Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. It seemed like that was going somewhere for a bit there. Rhea took out Raquel and then took out Liv, which led to Raquel returning during the July 31st edition of Raw to attack Rhea Ripley as many fans expected to see. The fans also expected to see a last-second addition get made to the SummerSlam card for Rhea Ripley versus Raquel, but that didn't end up happening, which confirms that Rhea Ripley will miss SummerSlam and not have a title defense on the card. Not to mention that Rhea Ripley also didn't have a title defense during July's Money in the Bank Premium Live event. If you want to find Rhea Ripley's last Premium Live event title defense, you got to go back to May 27th at Night of Champions against Natalya, in a match that barely lasted 10 seconds. So a situation like this is pretty unheard of, and that's what has fans wondering, what is going on here? If Rhea Ripley wasn't the champion and was missing these events, then sure, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But for her to be actively a world champion and hasn't had a Premium Live title defense since May, that's just pretty mind-blowing. So fans started to wonder if Rhea Ripley was hurt or if there's another reason to why she constantly is not booked for Premium Live events as a defending champion. Well, all signs and indications seem to point that Rhea Ripley being perfectly healthy and is okay to compete in the ring. She gets physically cleared nearly every episode of Raw and seems more than cleared to compete. Rhea Ripley even liked a few fan tweets about her SummerSlam absence. She liked a tweet from a fan that said Rhea, Becky, and Trish should all have the right to be upset about missing SummerSlam. She liked another tweet from another fan that pointed out how there was a space for Logan Paul on the card, but not for one of the women's champions. So, it's all true points that the fans are making here. It's common sense that obviously the whole roster won't be able to make it onto the SummerSlam card, but it's just so bizarre that even one of the main world champions in the women's division can't make it onto the card. That's the big story here. Not only is she constantly missing out on Premium Live events, but fans have also pointed out that Rhea Ripley sort of gets booked as a background character even within the Judgment Day. You've got Damian Priest and Finn Balor at the forefront of everything getting involved in the world title and the Money in the Bank contract. Then you've got Dominic Mysterio even now doing his own thing as North American champion. But everything with Rhea Ripley's stories and feuds just seems a bit directionless, inconsistent, and in the background of everything going on within the Judgment Day. So it's very unfortunate and very strange for Rhea Ripley, a current champion, to be left out of one of the biggest cards of the year. But it does look like Raquel will be our next opponent. We just have to wait and see when that match will take place. In a related topic to Rhea Ripley's situation, it's also now being reported and rumored that there's apparently a lot of frustration across the entire women's division for how it's being handled. And there's several situations going on right now where you could definitely understand the frustration. For example, things still haven't changed much with the women's tag team titles. There's barely any division around the titles. They swap hands every few weeks, and new champions get booked in strange ways right from the jump. Just like how we saw Sonya and Chelsea's first match as the new tag team champions end, with them losing to Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair. Then with the WWE Women's title on SmackDown, that entire build-up to SummerSlam was getting mixed reactions from fans for some questionable decisions as well. The biggest criticism there was how Bianca and Charlotte appear to be the center of the story more than the actual women's champion, Asuka herself. And over on Raw, we just went over the situation with Rhea Ripley and her lack of title defenses at premium live events. And of course, the other big story in recent days was Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch's match being cancelled from taking place at SummerSlam. An update has come out on that situation as well. Fightful reports that Becky and Trish are both healthy and available for SummerSlam, but the match had to be pulled due to time-related issues. If they had that match at SummerSlam, it was most likely going to be extremely short. So that's why the decision was made to move it to Raw. Trish and Becky have been very subtly voicing their frustration through social media. Trish responded to a fan message to her Instagram story saying how everyone needs to keep talking about Trish and Becky being pulled from SummerSlam. Becky Lynch took to her Instagram to post some behind-the-scene pictures WWE had her take for the SummerSlam photo shoot, with a caption that read, "This was the shoot I did for SummerSlam." Becky added 4 dots at the end of the caption. Becky was basically saying, look, they had me do a photo shoot, but they didn't put me on the SummerSlam card. So you can definitely sense the frustration from Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, and Trish Stratus. And according to these new reports, they are not the only 3 women that are frustrated. Apparently, there's even more superstars in the women's division that aren't so thrilled right now. One of the biggest rumored returns of the entire year has been the return of Randy Orton. Well, another update has come out regarding Randy's return coming from Fightful. They're reporting that as of the first week of August, Randy Orton has still not been medically cleared to compete. They also claim that Randy has not taken any bumps in the ring as of late and hasn't even been running the ropes yet at all. It's also being reported that his name isn't even being brought up in creative decisions, because he obviously still has a way to go before returning to the ring. Randy Orton's return has been discussed by fans all year long. People were talking about his return at the 2023 Royal Rumble, during WrestleMania 39 week, and recently during SummerSlam season. But judging by these new updates, it will still be a decent little while before we see Randy Orton back in the ring. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.